It's time. Calder's been doing the math. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I've been trying to go through every scenario possible right now, at least through most of them, and with the situation as it is right now, it's actually a little bit complicated because we could have a lot of different scenarios. The thing is, if Hero is able to win the next game, then he is going to be out of the group. He will be in. He will definitely be in Code S. Because the thing is, the only player that he would lose to is Suoshin. That's a possibility if he loses his second match later on. And Suoshin can actually, Suoshin wins against Hero. Both of them are going to advance because they are both on 3-1, but better than everyone else. The only other player who could get 3 kills is Alive, but Alive would have lost the next game to Hero. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
No, yes.
So, yeah, if Hero wins, and if Hero wins, he's through. If Suoshin later on wins against Hero, both of them are through. But yeah, there are a lot of different scenarios. Even Shine can now force a tiebreaker. Shine needs Hero to lose, then he needs to win against Maru, he needs to win against Alive, and he needs Hero to win against Suoshin later. Then Hero will advance to Code S, and Shine finds himself in a 3-way tie, where he then has another chance of getting into Code S. So at this point, nothing is really determined, but this game that we have at hand right now...
It sets the precedent.
Exactly, it would guarantee Hero a spot in Code S.
Well, the players are ready. They said go, go. The map is loading. It is, in fact, Whirlwind, one of the biggest maps in the pool. See if Hero can get his Code S spot right now up against Alive, who's currently at 1-1. Here are the GSL up and downs, cast by Calder and Wolf.
Starting to the bottom right is our Protoss player. He might be able to pull things off right now, get into Code S with a win on this map. Starting at the bottom right is the Team Liquid player, and his ID is
Liquid Hero.
Hero looking strong so far. Played well, won against Maru, and was also successful against Shine. Now he's facing another Terran player. Starting to the top left is the Fnatic player. It is Fnatic.
Fnatic Alive.
Alive.
Alive. It's alive. I don't get the reference, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's alive, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I obviously don't get the joke.
There's no real
There's no reference?
Well, I mean, it's
You
just a
try to
thing.
be funny?
Sometimes people do that. They say it's alive for some reason. I don't know why. Sometimes people say that. You know what I mean? Like, like, why do they say that? Why don't they just say, oh my god, it's alive?
I can tell you why. It's a Frankenstein reference.
Ah, okay. So it is a Frankenstein. Okay.
Yeah, Frankenstein's monster.
Okay, because I was going to say, I mean, there's just sometimes people just say, it's alive, instead of just being like, oh my god, that's alive. That's really weird, but...
No,
okay.
It's actually a Frankenstein reference. Now that you say like 2 or 3 times again, I can remember it.
Yeah. Well, you solved my joke.
That is the weirdest thing that I've ever... You solved my joke.
Basically, yeah. By the way, Alive with a gas first. He's going to start his orbital and his factory at the same time. And this is up against Hero, who's going for very normal 1 gateway expand, most likely, as he's not touched the second gas yet.
Alright. Well, right now, everything is on the line, obviously, for both of these players, but more for Hero. Well, Hero has a second shot, even if he loses right now. If he wins his next game, he is definitely in Code S. So he has basically 2 chances, 2 games that he can win where he can advance without him getting in some kind of weird tie situation because of how the group went so far. Alive, on the other hand, he really needs to win right now. He could find himself in a tiebreaker later on if he takes the victory right now. But if he loses, everything might go to hell. He still has a shot if he loses, but still that's not a chance that he wants to take.
Yeah, it's not going to be in his control anymore if that happens. Hero has a very forward pylon here, and by that I don't mean it wants to ask Alive out on a date. That's pretty obvious. I just mean that he is going to be able to spot dropship play, which is actually really important in this case because Alive could send a drop in that particular direction, away from the watchtower. But given the positions, it's not likely he'll send it in that location. So this pylon, not very useful for Hero, who is adding 2 gateways, so he's going to use this actually as a warp-in point. It looked more and more like he was going to just pressure a little bit with his Stalkers and Zealots and go into an expansion, but he wants to put pressure on first. This is an older build, but it can be very scary against someone who does not have a bunker.
I really like it though. I like this build. I like the early aggression with the 3 gateways. You can do just so much. And now we have Hero also transitioning into an expansion. The Hellions are now just moving in, but he spotted them already. He saw them earlier, so he will start to control his choke point.
He wants to wall here with a pylon, and the Zealot gets in the way.
Second pylon being dropped just to be on the safe side, and I really like it a lot. That's a few minerals that you have to spend because you start to cancel them. And the thing is, of course, that this is much better than losing probes.
By the way, the position Hero's in now, if he moves out, he doesn't know this, but Alive has no bunker. Yep. He's very vulnerable right now.
On the other hand, if he moves out and Alive drops these Hellions into the main base of his opponent, that might get nasty, but the Medivac might just be able to spot...
Oh, wow! Hero sees it, and he just runs by.
He doesn't react in time, he rallies his units to the left, and Alive is still moving into the base with the Hellions. He knows that they are not too effective against the dog, but he does not wall!
No wall. The wall is actually going to work against him in this case, though, with the SCVs, as he doesn't have any range units on the other side of it. And he will take out one of the Stalkers here.
But he can delay him at least for a little bit. Now the Hellions at the bottom right are about to enter the main base. There is one probe though, and this is just scouting what's going on here. And Hero is ready. He saw, of course, the dropship earlier and knows that something is going to be dropped in his main. And there we go. How many probes is he going to lose?
Meanwhile, how many SCVs is Alive going to lose? Because he has much more dire situation. He doesn't have a second command center. He's not microing his SCVs, or rather his Stalkers back at home. Oh!
Uh-oh. So many RVSs already lost here. 17 to 18 though in general. We still have a lot of Stalkers trying to apply the pressure here. Both of them have to be very careful, attacking and defending at the same time. And now Hero to the top left is dropping in supplies, being chased away by SCVs, Hellions, and Marines.
Now this is a big problem for Hero until he warps in these additional units. He takes out a Hellion. Hard to take out these units with the Medivac support, but now he just has barely enough Stalkers to actually push this back up the ramp. And a few more Hellions come out for Alive, but that's not going to be very useful against the Stalker-heavy composition. Medivac goes down, needs to pull back, he needs a few more units, he needs another warp in.
Oh, there.
This is such great micro by both players. And the worker count still in Hero's favor. He's really starting to pull ahead. Alive doesn't have double mules. He doesn't have Chrono Boost, he doesn't have 2 command centers.
Yeah, right now we have another Medivac being built for Alive, of course. He's currently at 40 to 39, but the Medivac really needs to... Well, there are 6 Marines that he can use, but there are so many Stalkers, and if he's able to take down those Marines, the Medivac would really help him a lot to keep those alive. He needs them.
Yeah, he really does need them. Medivac does come out just in time to hold off a little bit longer.
The expansion is ready for Hero. He's starting to mine here, and now he has the double pro production as well. Yeah, it's getting pretty thin here for Alive. He could have gone into the main base, but doesn't. Takes down a few Harvesters on the low ground. At least tries to, but the Stalkers are ready and chase him away to the top left though. More and more Hellions are now dying to Hero Stalkers. Hero with a decent micro here.
Yeah, he has to leave though with the Medivac there. It's just too much healing power. Decides to actually come in with another warp in. I'm not sure how much I like this. He's going to lose 1 Stalker, and now the units he warped in will likely die as well.
A lot of aggression here. He kills or tries to kill those Marines, but now more and more Hellions are streaming in, taking down the shields and the last hit points of the Stalkers. 2 Stalkers die. He warps in another one. He currently has the rest of his units ready towards the top left. He really tries to make this work, but can he buy himself enough time? I don't think he can.
He wants that pylon.
But there are not enough units for Life.
Just too much.
The Stalkers just arrived, and now
Commander's going to have to cancel.
An overwhelming force for Hero.
Cancels the Commander, starts another one in his main. He's not going to wall here. He wants to use the SCVs against the Stalkers, and he just cannot. Now he's going to go up the ramp and try to get a few more ranged units out, but oh, this is a terrible position for Alive. The Zealot doing so much damage here, buffering for the Stalkers. He's taking out more and more SCVs, working out 36 to 17 right now. And Hero is going to find himself in Code S, it looks like, Keldor.
Yeah, I certainly think so. Right now, he's really doing a great job here, and he is just inches away from going into the main base. All those SCVs are trying to prevent it, of course, but at this point, Life is just losing so much, and Hero is far ahead of his opponent. 35 Harvesters to 13. Life, even with the Mule, has no chance of catching up with his opponent's economy. 2 base against 1 base, and Hero is looking at a great position. Is most likely going to end this very soon.
There's no way for Life to hold. Even walking up the ramp against the AoE damage of the Hellions is no longer an issue for Hero. Pulls back his weakened Stalkers. He's got Warpins he can use. There's Micros and Stalkers instead. There's nothing left. There's no Hellions. There's no SCVs. There's no chance.
Right now, the last few SCVs are dying, and this game is essentially over. 40 against 7 Harvesters. We can expect GG any second here.
Yep, GG.
There it is, and Hero is in Code S, ladies and gentlemen. 3 wins.
And with the rest of the games he's going to play, he will have to play them, of course, but he does not have to actually win them all to stay in the group. It just determines who else will stay in the group.
The only player who can get 3 wins is actually Suoshin at this point. And even if Suoshin is on... Well, Suoshin actually has to play against Hero, but even if Hero loses the game against Suoshin, they both will be on 3-1 and both of them will advance. Alive, his next game is actually against Shine. It's the last game of the day.
Yep, it's going to be, may not be played depending on Hero versus Suho, and Maru versus Shine, of course, will help determine the rest of the games as well. I'm curious to see how Maru is going to do against Shine. Obviously, we had really interesting Zerg versus Terran that he played earlier, using his Banshees quite well, but just did not hold up to Suho's aggression with the Wings. See how Shine's style varies against Suho. Obviously, Suho, a much more aggressive player, that's what he's known for, but I think the late game for Shine, especially in this matchup, is pretty tough to beat.
You know, the funny thing is that all the games that are played, the next game that is played, Maru against Shine, this is only going to be important if Suoshin wins again, if Suoshin loses against Hero later on.
Yeah.
That is also one of the things that are really important here. This game, of course, is key for Maru and for Shine, but it only comes into consideration if Suoshin later on loses to Hero. Right now, we have Shine up against Maru, and for Maru, it's the last game. He's currently looking at 1 win and 2 losses, and if he loses this game, he has no chance whatsoever to get into Code S. So a win for him is really important, but the same is true for Shine. The map is Antigua Shipyard. It's loading right now, ladies and gentlemen. Maru against Shine Terran versus Zerg on Antigua. We're jumping into the game right now. Get GSL up and downs with Paul and Wolf.